Bridge can be a dangerous game. In 1989, I was the new bridge kid on the block. A couple of experiences demonstrate how crazy I was about playing this game. I caught the Comox ferry and was picked up by a man I hardly knew to attend a tournament in Parksville. He was a smoker, but he had all the windows down, airing out the car when I arrived. Off we went. Just the other side of Courtney, I heard him say, "Oh," as he pulled over to the side of the road before turning off the car, saying that he felt faint. His head bent forward and his sunglasses fell onto the floor where he just left them. His head sort of lolled around as he pushed his seat back, saying he had to lay down for a minute. He made a sound as if all the air escaped his lungs. I thought he was going to throw up. Not all over his car, his nice clothes, and mine. I opened the car door as if to get out. I asked him if there was anything I should know, and he said no. He lay completely still, but began to sweat buckets. I felt panic begin to rise in my chest, but I stopped myself, realizing that I needed to keep calm. Then I noticed that we were right in front of a business that did auto body work, so I knew they would have a phone. Should I call an ambulance? I asked. He said no. I was worried. Was this a heart attack, a stroke, an epileptic incident, or something else? What should I be doing? I decided to trust his judgment, but this intense sweating had me very concerned. We probably sat there no longer than 10 minutes when he revived. He asked me if I knew how to drive a standard car. I said yes, so we changed seats. As I was getting in, I noticed there was a very large wet patch where he'd been sitting. His bladder must have let go. I silently stepped in. As soon as I began driving, the air started circulating. He said he felt much better. Would I stop at a store and get him a 7-Up? I stopped at the Union Bay store, went in, and got him his pop. When I left the seat, I noticed how wet my backside really was. After I stalled this 5-speed, stick-shift, sporty vehicle once, we continued on our way. He drank the pop, had a cigarette, and picked up the conversation exactly where we'd left off. The following week, I learned that he suffered occasional recurring problems with his prostate. He chose not to discuss that with me, a woman he hardly knew. 2 years later, in 1991, Amy Marks generously offered to play with me in the qualifying round of the North American Pairs. It is an annual competition that begins at the local unit with a number of the highest finishers progressing in stages to the next level, culminating in the finals at one of the major ACBL tournaments. Amy and I had a chance for a practice game when she invited me to stay at her condo in Nanaimo the day before the event. Dave dropped me off on his way to Victoria. That evening, after a delicious shrimp salad, we drove to Qualicum to play in a 6-table game. On the way home, we were busily replaying what we could have or should have done on some of the 27 hands. As Amy was conscientiously driving, I noticed a long, narrow light appear in the defrost area of the dashboard on my side. It wasn't my car, so it didn't really register as anything alarming until I smelled something burning. "What is this light?" I asked. Amy looked, immediately pulled over to the side of the road, slammed on the brakes, and yelled, "Get out!" I had the foresight to grab our purses off the back seat as I scrambled out of the car. We moved away and stood on the side of the island highway, watching smoke billowing out from around the hood. A gentleman in a pickup truck stopped and came to investigate with a flashlight. He wisely decided to not go closer when he saw the smoke increasing. Due to the possible danger, he suggested we move farther away and told us he would carry on to the police station down the highway to call the fire department. cell phones had yet to enter our lives. Here we stood, shivering in the dark, cold November night, watching as the car went up in smoke. Shortly, a huge explosion shot out of the hood, sounding like a cannon, with bits and pieces flying everywhere. Eerie shadows danced around us. I assume the gas tank exploded. Blaring sirens pierced the air as the police and fire trucks arrived. Amy answered all their immediate questions before the police offered us a ride to the station, where, at 1 o'clock in the morning, after filling out numerous papers, she phoned a fellow bridge player, Don, to ask if he would come and pick us up in Parksville and drive us to her home in Nanaimo. I can't imagine the explanation Don must have given his wife. Earlier, when we bolted out of the car, it never occurred to Amy to grab her golf clubs out of the trunk. A very expensive acquisition went up in smoke. The next day, Amy borrowed Maxine's car to get us to the planned 2-session competition. Little sleep, irregular meals, and overstimulation are not the best preparation for a serious game. At the end of the day, I joined the other Powell River ladies who also played as we rushed to catch the last ferry home. We were the last car to get on. After the scoring was done, Amy called to let me know that we placed second overall, which qualified us to play the next stage of the event in Vancouver. Yes, bridge can be a dangerous game.